Another exciting week of AFC playoffs. The NFC had some pretty good games too. We may or may not mention that, but first few things to get out of the way real quick. Actually, Thursday is the birthday of a good buddy of mine that actually played at Clemson and played in the NFL for a few years. So Nate or Nathan Bennett, whichever one you want to go by. Hopefully you're watching up in Kentucky, Tennessee, wherever you're at. Happy birthday, buddy. We'd love to see you here on the show if you want to drop by and check us out one day. We'll get to the other holidays later. But let's talk some football for once. There were a few actual games this week.
There were two.
There were.
Well, there were
Well,
four, but
yeah,
there were
but
two that
there
we
were
were
two.
supposed to address.
Yeah, two we're actually gonna hit real quick. We'll start with the Houston at Baltimore thing. Um, to me, this game played out exactly the way I thought it would.
It actually didn't play out the way I thought it would. I thought Houston's offense would be a little bit more competitive than they were. Other than that, that said, we knew it was going to be defensive battle.
Well, were they not as competitive as they should have been, or is that defense in Baltimore just that good?
Well, I think you got to do a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. And I definitely think that it would have been a different offensive game if they'd still had Matt Schaub in. But you play with the hand you're dealt. That's the
Exactly.
hand they were dealt.
Yates did phenomenal to take over being the third string, never thinking he's going to get a shot. Although, to be
Exactly.
fair, if I'm one depth chart spot below Matt Leinart, I got to have hope.
That's true.
It's,
Always have
I
faith.
mean, not the personal Matt Leinart. I mean, but when you're unemployed after this season, if you want to come do some analysis for us, we're actually going to be losing a guy. We could use another co-host.
That is very true.
But
I don't know.
I think it come down to their defense, if you ask me.
It yeah.
Ed Reed is Ed Reed, as Tom Brady has been quoted
I
this week.
mean, we can't say enough about that
And
interception in
and
the
the
fourth
last time
quarter.
Ray Lewis played this possessed, I think he was in Florida.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, to be, injured a couple games and everybody asking, well, they're getting older, can he still do it? He come out like a man possessed, like you didn't need 10 other guys around him.
hmm
He could have stopped him on his own.
Yep. I
But
mean, and you got to expect that every game from the Ravens defense
oh,
now, especially
absolutely,
this close to the playoffs. At this stage in their careers, there's a very real possibility that this could be their last chance
it's
to
very
go out
true.
and get one.
I mean, them and the Steelers are in the same boat, but the
hmm
Steelers are at home.
Yeah, and the Steelers are not relevant now, and
Exactly.
Baltimore is.
A few quick stats, real quick. T.J. Yates was actually 17 for 35, right at 50% for 184 yards. Three interceptions though, and
Yeah.
that the turnovers played a big part this weekend. Arian Foster had 27 carries for 132 yards and a touchdown. That's almost a mediocre average game for him. I
Yep.
mean, he really should have been almost close to 200. And Andre Johnson had 8 catches for 111 yards, which is actually on par for his season. But I mean, we got to talk about Joe Flacco, who actually proved he wasn't that bad of a quarterback. 14 completions for 176 yards. He had 2 touchdowns.
Well, anybody said that he wasn't clutch in the playoffs has been quieted, or at least seemingly
At least for
to
this
this
week.
point. Yeah. We'll see. Every week is a new story, but certainly for last week, he stepped up his game and proved that he is up there with any quarterback in the league right now.
I, I would
In
I
in
would
potential,
I
certainly.
would put him in probably the top 8 still. I mean, there still are a few that are at home, but then again, he has a shot at a ring still,
Exactly.
although it's a
And that's
slightly
all that
small
matters
one.
at the end of
Right,
the day.
exactly. Um, Last thing I was going to hit on is Ray Rice, who everybody thought would be the breakout and the whole reason why
Yeah.
Baltimore should have won or should win this game, even though they won anyway. He had, I think it was somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 carries for like 65 yards.
Yeah.
Nowhere close to where he should have been. He
Not to
should have
his
had the Arian
potential at all.
Foster type day.
Exactly.
And yet, even though he couldn't get 64 yards, they still put 20 points on the board, which is 15 or 5 more than I ever give him credit for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what they were averaging about 12 points a year
Yeah,
all year long.
right.
So, I mean, you
And
know,
that and that's and that's
this is a
winning the
plus
division.
day. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's something to be said about that defense. And all I know is that this weekend's matchup is going to make one heck of a game between the Patriots and the Ravens.
Speaking of those Patriots,
Speaking
let's
of those
let's quit beating
Patriots,
around the bush and talking about the second game. Let's talk about the
fine
game
by me.
everybody tuned into at least for the first quarter.
Yeah. Uh, and if you're a Patriots fan, you watched all four quarters. I certainly watched all four quarters.
Even as a Tebow fan, I watched the entire thing.
I enjoyed. I was actually in Tampa visiting relatives during this game, so I was surrounded by TiVo. That's a TiVo. Tebow just love. I mean,
It's true because
just
the
they worship him down. It's amazing to see how much. I even heard a radio commercial on the way down for advertising for Gators fans to come watch the Broncos play at a sports bar. And the Broncos have no relevance in Florida because I like a team from Florida. I like Tampa. But I mean, they still worship this guy all over the place.
speaking of
And
which, that would be a good segue to real quick. As a side note, to plug some of our buddies at Taco Mac in Douglasville, actually has a good following of Denver fans and Tebow fans alike. So
so next year,
in the next coming seasons, in the next few months and everything, as football starts to roll back around and Denver starts to talk about their stuff, Taco Mac in Douglasville would actually be a great place for a Denver fan to go.
definitely. But yeah, I mean, just being surrounded by Denver fans, I kind of felt like devil's advocate down there, saying that Brady is still Tom Brady, and
Exactly.
now everybody this week is talking about, oh well, no one was talking about Tom Brady. I was screaming, hello, he's facing Tom
Which
Brady.
proves nobody's watching this show because
Yeah, I
we
mean,
have four hosts that could go to bat for Tom Brady at any
yeah,
day.
and would I certainly would, and
Absolutely. And
not discrediting in any way what Tebow has been able to accomplish this season.
oh, he's definitely a magical player, an Elway type player who
Yeah,
has a
as
certain thing about him, but he just right now is not even close to the
Yeah,
same.
as our co-host so finally says, the Mile High Messiah is, going to be a great quarterback, but
If he's the Mile High
he's
Messiah,
not
then Tom Brady's got to
he's
be
not in
like
Tom Brady's class right
beyond
now.
galaxy godlike. But Brady, 26 for 34, that's only 8 throws that didn't find,
Definitely.
and three
I
of the
mean,
and one of those went to the other team.
what can you say about Rob Gronkowski? I mean, he is as beast as there ever was.
I mean, 10 catches for 145 yards, and at the end of the
I
game, when
mean,
him and Brady were doing interviews, Brady cut his short, patted him on the back, and walked off, knowing he could even carry the interview
I
after
don't
Brady left.
I don't want to even speculate in his first season. I don't want to start talking about I'm sorry, second season.
Yeah,
But first season being, as highly used as a weapon as he is, uh, speculate. I don't want to say Hall of Fame potential, but
I
the
mean,
guy has showed. I mean, no,
all weekend
he
I've called Rob Gronkowski the next Tony
he
Gonzalez, the
broke
next tight
almost
end we're going to talk about forever.
every tight end single season record this year. I mean, touchdowns, catches in a season, yards. I mean, this guy, Patriots fans, live it up. Go get your
I,
Gronkowski
and
jerseys. This name's gonna be around for a long time.
and as much, I mean, we all like Tony on the show. Tony's a great guy. He's just one of those NFL guys you just can't hate and everything. And as big a numbers as he's put up, sorry Atlanta fans, if you want to see the tight end of the future and the guy who's going to break all your guys' records, you need to go to New England
Yep.
because this guy is for real. But we got to talk about the other tight end as well, who Aaron
Aaron
Hernandez,
Hernandez
who apparently is a threat from the backfield as well. They
does a
ran
great
him
job.
5 times for 61 rush yards. He was actually the leading rusher.
He was, and he did a really good job rushing. And I think when you throw in something that another team is expecting, that always adds an element of an advantage to you. And not that they needed an advantage in any way in this game, but it certainly came through.
Definitely. And we got to throw in Tebow's stats real quick. He had no interceptions again because
Hmm.
his mentality is if he can't make a completion, he usually throws it away or in the
Yep,
dirt.
or runs it.
Right. Uh, actually, I don't have his run stats in front of me, but
Oh, okay.
9 for 26 for 136 yards. The 136 isn't bad. The nine completions is about his average.
Yep.
Um, got to talk about forgot his first name, Thomas Bebe.
Bebe Thomas,
Yep,
Demarius Thomas.
yep, from Georgia Tech. We'll give you credit this
I give him
time.
lots of credit.
Oh
He
yeah.
gave my team a win.
And he had 6 catches for 93 yards. He's actually becoming one of the emerging threats, especially with
He's
Decker down.
going to be a really good wide receiver threat in the near
I
future.
mean, if Tebow starts to air it out in the next few years, he's got 3 or 4 just great receivers to throw to
He's
if
got
he
speed,
ever wants to make it to them.
definitely.
Um, Stat guy sent us this: 5 rushes for 13 yards
For Tebow.
for
So
Tebow. So
nothing
see,
spectacular, but
that's why he's not on my
that's
sheet.
more running out of necessity than
Right.
that's
And
being rushed out of the pocket and making something
we
out
do
of it.
have to throw this out real quick since I did mention the stat guy for today. Um, Stat guy, we need to get you going on that other stat that we're trying to get for Matt real quick. Maybe we can get that by the end of the show. I don't know, but we'll see.
I don't know what stat I was looking for.
Uh, Once again, I don't have it on me. I guess somebody's hacked my computer again. But this all sets up what's going to be one of the good matchups again. I mean, Baltimore at New England, 3 o'clock Sunday. I believe it's the CBS game.
It is AFC CBS.
Yep. And the last time the Patriots played the Ravens in the playoffs, I believe it was somewhere around the 33 to 17 range where they lost,
Hmm.
and that was a 2009 wild card. That was the slow period in the last few years where New England just can't seem to get past the
Yeah,
first few
well, they've
rounds.
showed us
The
this
Jets
year
last
that they're
year,
capable of doing
right?
that.
I think they fixed the holes they had.
I definitely think so. Maybe not necessarily on defense, but their offense has become so much more versatile and so much more deadly.
Absolutely. Who do you got in this game?
The Ravens and Patriots.
Yes.
I have not moved off of the I think I've picked against the Patriots maybe twice all season. It isn't going to change now. Patriots all the way. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
I think absolutely with New England's defense actually showing up in the playoffs. I think it may
I
be
think it'll be a much closer game. I mean, I'm not
absolutely.
discrediting the Ravens defense.
And I still want to give Joe Flacco all the credit in the world. He
Exactly.
will probably have 2 touchdowns, maybe even an interception. He'll probably throw about 200 yards, be about 50% or so. But
But I'm
Brady
taking the
Brady's going to be
Patriots.
1.5 times
I've
that.
said it before. Until they prove me wrong, I'm gonna keep picking Brady.
Absolutely.
I actually have Brady in the Super Bowl, so
Yep. I was about to
I
get to
had him
that.
in a while back.
The Patriots are my lone Super Bowl pick that are still there because I
Yeah,
had them
you
against the
had the
Saints.
Broncos in the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago.
That's because somebody put me on the
Uh
yeah.
huh.
But as soon as the Saints were out, I said that the Giants would actually be the next team in, which we'll talk about real quick. The closing remarks, real quick. The NFC Championship game. We're gonna hit on it real quick.
Okay,
Giants, San Francisco. Who you got?
49ers.
Really?
Played with way too much determination. I mean, it was sheer willpower over the Saints. The Saints are as good as they ever were and played as well as they ever have, and the 49ers just would not quit. They were not going to lose, and they didn't. And, if they come out with that same mentality, absolutely. With Vernon Davis, I mean, there's nothing that that team can't do right now.
I got the other way around. It's definitely the Giants winning this
Excellent.
one.
Makes it more interesting.
Absolutely. But it's not that I don't want to see a Harbaugh Bowl, but both of them are going home this week.
I believe
It's
so.
just right now
I mean,
Eli is playing as great as he did a couple years ago when he made a run, and he beat the Patriots that time. But I actually have the Patriots over them this year in the Super Bowl.
that's another
Either
Patriots Giants matchup. That could create a lot of headlines.
definitely so, and the fact that one of our big fans who likes to light up our page on Facebook actually Daniel I've heard is a big 49ers fan. So
Well, hey, he's
sorry,
on.
buddy, you're just gonna lose this
No,
week.
you're on
Just
the right train this week.
JJ is a
Uh,
Giants fan. That's why he's gonna like my pick.
yeah,
The
that's why he's
stat the
not gonna
stat
like
guy
mine.
decides to carry on
Sorry,
conversation.
somebody's
Sorry.
got to go home eventually. Sorry, JJ.
Well, it's not gonna matter. They're both going home, but and
Maybe so.
and to keep up the streak, beat that the Giants beat Ryan every week. Rex Ryan,
Oh, okay.
Rob Ryan, Matt Ryan, Ryan Grant. I actually spent time actually looking it up, and as far as a 49er, a member of the San Francisco 49ers named Ryan. There is a Ryan Moore who is the assistant director of public relations for the 49ers. That is
That is doing your
that
job.
that
That is
is
digging.
that is digging. I should get a raise if I ever got paid
Maybe
for this.
so.
But
One day. We'll
but
raise you 3 Skittles after the show.
we get Skittles.
I don't know.
When was
Talk to Billy.
this?
There's
Wow.
some over there in the
Learn
corner.
something new every day. And actually, I want to throw out the invitation. Um, Even though the studio doesn't know, I'm going to throw this out. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Especially with some of the upcoming shows. If you guys would like to join us and be be in the studio while we're doing some of these shows, especially the draft show coming up, because we're gonna do a live draft show. If you guys want to be here to cheer on your team, maybe even come on and do some guest picks, just get in touch with us. There's all the different ways to do that. The Facebook page, the Twitter page, email, anything you can do to get a hold of us if you want to be a part of this. Should be a good time. Hopefully we can get like a video monitor for you, and
I'll try to send in a video
we'll get
from
our
anywhere.
we'll get our tech guy on that. But
If not a written letter, I'll have something sent in.
To recap real quick, we both got the Patriots rolling in this one in a close game, but probably I'm saying 2 scores.
Yeah.
And
I'll say closer to one,
and
but
we're split on the New York Giants that I have against the San Francisco 49ers. He has. Should be a good game, good matchup.
definitely.
Stay tuned for the NFC show. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, guys.